today. From Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Detroit Lions taking on the New Orleans Saints.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what a performance he is coming off of. I know that this is a different era of football where we're throwing it around a heck of a lot more, but still, over 500 yards passing.
500.
That's phenomenal, incredible. Let's see if he can take last week's game and carry it forward and have another similar performance.
Throwing first play is Herbert. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
To try again after the sack. Herbert, he's airing it out for Williams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 17 carries, 70 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. Well, this defense for the Lions, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
He finds his man complete. That's Perry. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
To throw on 2nd and 10. Carr, throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Now, Carr again. He finds his man. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Escaping the pressure right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know the
touchdown! Colin Johnson, 28 yards. And the Lions lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in by Edwards. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Again, it's Kamara, and he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Carr. There's Chris Olave. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle to the 27-yard line. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well. Somewhat calm. Only down 14-0. So continue to play your game. Take the points when they're there. And put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. On 4th down, Herbert. He's got this complete to Williams. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back to throw here, Herbert. Flush to his right. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Harris. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jason Kabinda, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. On 1st down, Carr. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Ed Oliver. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Lions will take over. Jamison Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him. They haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Herbert. Rolling to his left. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The two big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Harris running straight ahead. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Gibbs. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. This a 27-yard attempt here. Patterson's kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
Well, the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 2nd and a yard, Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get...
And this is caught. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll try to run with Harris. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Damian Harris as time expires in the first half. And the Lions would extend their lead here just before halftime. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game, we skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr, his throw incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Lions have taken a 5-touchdown lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because they're built.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They'll run on first down. Gibbs, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibbs. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Got his tight end. That's complete. And Schultz down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually got to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Herbert. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Second and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Damian Harris halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Lions have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead. Grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. That's Olave bringing in another one. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave, 35 yards. And the Saints are able to claw one back. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Herbert off of play action. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Herbert. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff up the middle. Gibbs, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On second down now, it's Gibbs. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And that's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Perry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So here come the Lions now. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Herbert. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. A big play there for Detroit. 47 yards. On first down, Gibbs. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point try now for Patterson. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Patterson back out there to send this one away. This will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Throwing on first down is Carr. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Second down and 3. Carr going to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Again, they'll throw with Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Now Carr. This is caught, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Point after try forthcoming. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Lions,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.